we needed, we got that tonight, and it starts. It started with our guards. I thought Bogey, found his rhythm tonight, knocking down some shots. Kevin was really good again. It was a total team effort, and guys continue to step in and take advantage of opportunities when they get them.
One more real quick. Do you have any kind of update on Clinton?
No, I don't.
Okay, Joe Varden.
So obviously Trey couldn't go tonight, and it sounds like he's not feeling well on that. What do you think for him for Game 5?
I don't know. It was the report was just tonight he's out. He didn't feel comfortable enough to put pressure on his foot tonight. So I'll get a report tomorrow, and I'm sure it'll be a game time decision.
So this is going to sound like I'm trying to blame this on Trey, and I'm not. But the ball, you mentioned already, the ball really was moving more tonight than it has in the series. What was the discussion coming into this game about moving it, and did it have to do did the ball movement have anything to do with, I guess, trying to compensate for Trey being out?
Well, we play a different style of basketball. Trey does a great job of initiating offense for us when he's in the game. And when we go to our second unit, we have to play a different style of basketball. And that's been good for us. Tonight, without able to, make them defend, we did a good job of only 11 tonight. They scored only 4 points off of our turnovers. I didn't think that we made them play from side to side, got good ball movement, really established a rhythm and was able to knock down some shots. And with that, we was able to keep our floor balanced so that we could get back in transition.
Then with Lou, was there anything that you had to do to kind of lessen the blow on him when he was traded here?
No. Basically, I talked to Lou. I knew what Lou would bring, and we all did. We knew that his ability to score and come off the bench and be productive. Basically, I talked to him about the role that Rondo was playing when he came here, and that was a role of mentoring Trey, and he understood that role. He accepted that role. He knew that Trey is the future of this organization. He's coming in to back him up, and he's done a great job of mentoring Trey, talking about, different situations, how to manage a game, different things that he can do. His minutes was really cut coming here. He was a 20-plus minute guy, and he only has about 15, 10 to 15 minutes behind Trey. So he really sacrificed that role to help this team, and he's done a great job for us.
Sherrod Blakely.
Coach, when Giannis went out, you guys were out by 10, and often when the best player on the opposing team goes out, sometimes teams take a deep breath, kind of relax. But you guys did. You guys were continuing to forge ahead and increasingly speak to what your team allows them to be able to do that and do it relatively consistently, not kind of put off the gas.
Right. Yeah, but we condition ourselves to play that way. That's still a good team. They really solid players. Drew and Middleton and Lopez, Pat, all of those guys over there. I mean, that's a good team. So no, there was no way we were going to relax. We knew we had to put together a 48-minute game, and I thought our guys did a good job of really just keeping the pressure on defensively. We were forcing misses and was able to get out into transition because of I think the good ball movement. We got into a rhythm offensively, was knocking down shots and was able to stretch that lead, at that time. And those are things that you want to do when something like that happens. You want to try to take advantage of that. And I thought our guys, stayed focused on what we needed to do, and they executed well.
Are there one or two, just one quick follow-up, are there one or two things that allow players to make that pivot when their role changes? Like when Trey's out, everyone's role, something is modified somewhat. What's the key to guys having the mindset to be successful in these different roles?
Well, we talk about, first I want to give credit to my coaching staff because a lot of times, these guys who are stepping in like Cam, Cam came in tonight and had a solid night for us, a really good night. Those were important minutes. We were going to give him minutes tonight, even if Trey played. But without Trey and that, losing that body, his minutes became even more important. But our coaches do a great job of keeping these guys ready, working them, conditioning them to be ready to play if their name is called. And, once again, we've just had guys when they've gotten that opportunity, they've taken advantage of it. Lou, is an experienced guard. Really, he understood what he needed to do. He understood the moment that was in front of him. And he did a good job of really leading this team, establishing the tempo of the game tonight.
Tim Bontemps.
Sort of along the same lines. You said before the game you didn't want your guys to try to do more than what they normally do, right? Trey out. Did you think that overall you guys were able to do that?
I thought everybody stayed in their lane. They played their game, and they played connected basketball. We often talk about it really doesn't make a difference who is out on the floor, what five is out on the floor. We need to be connected on both ends of the floor. I thought our defense was much better tonight, guarding the ball, keeping the ball out of the paint. We still need to do a better job of rebounding. They were pounding us on the boards. Offensively, we were connected where we had good ball movement. We weren't turning the ball over. Shot selection was really good. Defense. So just, we talk about our 3 C's. I thought we showed that all night long, being clear about what we needed to do and being connected on both ends of the floor. And they did that for 48 minutes.
You talked a lot about the paint defense. These first 3 games, they averaged over 60 points in the paint. Tonight you outscored them in the paint, 46-44. You mentioned a little bit, but what allowed you to have such a different level of success in keeping them out of the paint?
I thought our pressure was much better. We have to make these guys uncomfortable. And, this time of the year, you can't allow good players to get rhythm. And I thought our pressure was much better tonight. Really the first time in this series we've played that type of defense, and we're capable of doing it. And I thought tonight we established our defense, and our offense seemed to find its rhythm.
All right, Sarah Spencer.
Nate, what stood out to you about what Cam brought on the defensive end for you guys tonight? And do you envision, if his body handled, tonight well, do you envision maybe a bigger role for him moving forward in the series?
Yeah, well, he has length, and he takes pride in defending. He's one of the few guys in this league that actually, that's his game. That's where he draws his energy from. It's not so much the offensive end of the floor. He comes out from the start wanting to play defense. And, tonight he had a couple of matchups that we wanted to get him on a few of their guys, of course, Middleton and Drew, try to get some length on those 2 guys. And, I thought he did a solid job. His first time really playing in a long time, just making them work just score over the top. But he brings length, his ability to guard a guard as well as a forward. Just gave us an extra body that we could put out there, especially with our second unit, with most of our guys being in that first unit. It was good to have Cam coming off the bench along with KD tonight.
As far as being more in the rotation, will it just depend on how his body feels?
Yeah, but basically I will get a report, basically, how Cam is feeling, and he's on a minute restriction. And, if he comes out of this okay tomorrow, and they may increase his minutes, but I'll get that information on the day of the game.
I have one more quick one. Just how good was it to see shots fall for Bogey? I know you've spoken about how even when shots weren't falling, he was still pushing through that injury to give you guys time that you needed from him. How good was it to see maybe a little bit of payoff for him tonight?
Well, Bogey is basically an example of this team. They just keep fighting. There's a lot of guys with some tweaks and some injuries and, playing in some pain. And, his shot hasn't been falling the last few games, and he stayed with it, but we believe that the next shot is going in. And, I thought he took some good shots tonight. He didn't settle. I thought he got aggressive, tried to get to the basket, and the ball was falling for him tonight. So we didn't lose confidence in him. We believe that, the shots that he takes are going to go in. He's an elite shooter in this league, and it was good to see that ball go down for him.
We'll go to Zoom now and start with Chris Kirshner.
Hey, Nate, since you've taken over the messaging from yourself to believe, when Trey goes down with an injury, what do you say to
Jeff Schultz.
what happened?
I don't hear anything.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Coach, can you hear us?
Jeff, can you try that again?
Chris, why don't you try first?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Since you've taken over, your messaging to the team has been to believe. When Trey goes down and is ruled out prior to the game, what do you say to this group to make them believe that they can win without obviously the best player?
Well, we continue to believe. And, what I said to the team was we've been here before where we've lost players on the day of a game. We've had a lot of our starters out throughout this season, and we continue to, basically play next man up role. And the next man up for us they've been able to take advantage of that opportunity and give us good production. And we've been able to win games. And this has been going on throughout the season. So losing Trey was of course, a big loss for us tonight. But we've been in that position before. And, we needed to come out and play a good, solid basketball game. The guys that are stepping into those roles and getting those opportunities, we just tell them to stay in their lane. We don't need them to try to be that player that is out. Play your game. I thought Lou really did a solid job tonight, establishing us both offensively as well as defensively. Tonight, we had really good ball movement, 26 assists with this group tonight, only 11 turnovers. And it started on the defensive end of the floor. But Lou is a veteran, and he got the nod right before the game. He didn't know this morning that he would be starting. He knew that probably was an opportunity, but he really didn't know until we got the call, from the trainer that Trey would not be able to go. He's a pro. He's been really good for us all season long, playing that backup role. But in the starting role tonight, I thought he was just solid, establishing us out there tonight against Milwaukee.
I also wanted to go back to Bogey for a second. So the other night you said that you trusted that the shots were going to fall for him. Obviously what we were seeing is he was struggling with his 3-point shot. So what made you believe that, those shots were going to fall for him? Like, what did you see from him specifically to make you believe that?
He's a great shooter. And, there's sometimes, guys lose their rhythm. We know that he's battling some injuries and he doesn't really have his balance, out there, or he hasn't had his balance out there on the floor. And it's difficult to shoot and to play when you're playing on one leg almost. And this kid just continues to fight through it. We believe in him. We needed him. We needed his body out on the floor because we just was limited with the bodies that we had. And he fought through it. He continued to give us everything that he had. And tonight it was good to see that ball fall for him. I believe, even on one leg, if this guy gets an open look, he's going to knock those shots down. And tonight they were falling for him.
Got time for just 3 more. They will come from Jeff Schultz, Steve Hummer, and Mark Schwartz.
Nate, I know as a coach, you always have to be prepared for different scenarios. When did you first have a feeling that you might have to go without Trey tonight?
I mean, basically, I went all the way up until just a few moments before I went into the locker room. Trey came in and he went through his workout and just didn't feel good enough. So I was waiting on that, and he came up. We talked, and so basically, probably an hour before the game is when I got the call that Trey wouldn't be able to go, and I had to let Lou know that he would be starting tonight, and KD would be backing him up.
And then when you delivered the news to the locker room, or the news got into the locker room, did you hear anything? What was the initial reaction from players as far as you could tell?
I think by the time I got to the locker room and we went into our pregame meeting, I'm sure guys knew about it. I did announce that because it was the first time that I was meeting with the team, that Trey was out officially and that Lou would be starting tonight. But as I said to them, we've been here before where we've had guys have injuries and they can't play, and another guy has to step up and fill in for that guy. And so it wasn't something that we hadn't seen. Of course, Trey does a lot for us, and he's a big part of what we like to do. But these guys have just been playing solid team basketball, regardless of who is out on the floor. And they continue to just give themselves a chance to win ball games.
Steve Hummer.
Yeah, Nate, in the absence of Trey, how important was this team's ability to initiate offense for many different quarters, not just Lou, but Herter did it, Bogey did it, even John Collins saw him throw an alley-oop pass rather than finish one. Where's that versatility? How did that play tonight?
Well, that's the connection we talk about having out there, where we are connected out on the floor and we're playing as a fist, a tight fist, and that's execution. Again, all of these guys are capable of playing, and when a guy is out or off the floor, we still expect our guys or that 5 that is out on the floor to execute the game plan, execute the defensive end of the floor, execute on the offensive end of the floor. So it really shouldn't change much as far as what we're doing out there. Now, you got different guys doing some things, but these guys have shown they're capable of handling the ball, making plays, making reads. And I thought tonight, on both sides of the ball, we were connected for 48 minutes.
Final question from Mark Schwartz.
Nate, you have been a part of so many huge games and situations, just like the one that your team went through tonight. And so many players can be told by a coach, believe, play like a fist, be calm, be clear, be connected. And yet, when the ball goes up and Giannis Antetokounmpo is standing on the other side, and Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday and Trae Young, your best players on the bench, rarely do teams show the kind of fight and belief that your team did. What is it about this group that is capable of overcoming the loss of a guy who makes the game so easy for everybody else on the floor?
Well, we show them, we'll show video. We don't, show a lot of bad. We try to show good. And so we will show them what they look like tonight, so that they can see that you believe, you play the game the right way, you play the game together. We constantly get the effort from this group. You will give yourself a chance to win games. And so they will see this video. They will see a lot of good that they did tonight to show them that it works. Working together works. And you have to continue to believe that. You have to continue to trust, and you have to make sure that you bring that effort to the floor. And so they've continued to do those things, and they've been able to win some big games. And I really feel tonight probably was the biggest.
If by any chance you don't have Trae in the next game, will this performance be even more fortifying for your guys in letting them believe that they can do this game after game, even if he's not on the floor?
Absolutely. Again, we talked about where we were at, coming into this game. And this was, of course, yesterday and this morning with Trae. And we was in the same position, in our last series against Philadelphia, where we needed to win a home game, and basically preparing them is something that we really lock in on. We feel that if we're prepared to play the game that we need to play, and these guys go out and execute it as they did tonight, you're gonna win games. They've been able to do that. We, as I mentioned before, we don't get too high when we win, and we don't get too low when we lose. We show them the areas we need to improve on, and tonight they were better than they were our last game, and we always try to take that approach.
Coach.
Good. All right, thank you, guys.